Face Battle, one of the most misunderstood elements of all of Mega 10. And considering how dense the Mega 10/Persona fandom can be with basic reading comprehension, that's bloody saying something. Little of this music track is actually understood, with even the name being referred to as Face Battle when it's actually Forced Battle to signify that it's used in fights you are forced into, not fights that are tougher than average.
According to the wiki anyway.
And then we have the actual lyrics. The primary cause of the misinterpretation is that the vocals are all performed via text-to-speech, which is somewhat unclear, even when isolated, and the music really drowns it out. This may be intentional to make the words more difficult to parse to give the track a more eerie feel, as if beings far beyond the player's comprehension are speaking. The most common misconception is with the supposed line, "One more god rejected." Yes, it's difficult to make out what's being said generally, but this line is in total opposition with the other lyrics, which are very pro-god, telling the player to fear God and give glory to him, and similar sentiments. Why would it then talk about rejecting God? Maybe we can work out what's really being said by looking at the source of the lyrics that are clearer. A number of the lines in the track are derived from the New King James Version of the Book of Revelation. Given the game's apocalyptic setting, pulling lines from the book about the apocalypse makes sense. Fear God and give glory to him, for the hour of his judgment has come is from 14:7. The 2U seems to just be an extra bit the composer added to invoke a more oppressive atmosphere for the forced battle. Drink of the wine of the wrath of God comes from 14:10. Now when the 1,000 years have expired, Satan will be released, comes from 27. It's also really funny because this is one of the SMT games where Satan doesn't exist. After looking at these lines, it's clear that the other lines come from the same source. Survive the fall from grace is actually strike with all plagues, derived from 11:6's strike the earth with all plagues. One more god rejected is war broke out in heaven from 12:7, which is about Lucifer's rebellion and expulsion from the heavenly host. The only two lines I can't figure out are the first two, the supposed "I'm the bug inside you" and "I have your back to the wall." These don't sound like they come from the Bible at all. I've tried so hard to connect these lines to Revelation, but any words I think I can hear either aren't in the book or aren't in a sentence that fits with the lyrics. I was hoping to get this whole thing figured out, but I don't want to keep trying to work this out when those words might not even be from this book, like how the 2U earlier was made up. But even if I can't work it all out, if you'll indulge me, I'd like to show up the ever wrong SMT wiki and give you guys what I have so far of the true lyrics of SMT Nocturne's Forced Battle. If you have any idea what the first two lines actually are, please let me know. Together we can complete this puzzle. Probably. Just don't ask me about normal battle or boss battle, I'm done with this shit. I'm glad Megaro left Atlas to cook. If you liked this video, then help me finish it! Or, you know, do the Patreon thing like these fine people here, you know the drill. Today's recommended video is Selling You on Shin Megami Tensei Nocturne by Maka. It was LaRue mentioning the misconceptions in that video that set me on this path, so both he and Maka deserve some love.